So today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the updated best Cypher setup on each map. It's been a couple weeks and a couple patches since my last best Cypher setups video for each map, so I thought now would be a good time to update you guys on what has changed. But before we get into it, if you're new around here and you want to see more VALORANT videos and guides like this, then I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. I upload every single day. And if you're interested in following me on my ranked climb, I stream every single day over on Twitch as well. It's super fun talking to you guys and answering any questions you might have while playing my ranked games. So first up, starting here on Ascent, I've actually been playing Cypher more on A site, which has actually changed since my last video where I was mostly playing Cypher on B site on Ascent. So first up, for the camera spot that I like to use, you need to jump on top of the generator here. And the camera that I like to place is really high in this corner here. So to place this camera, you need to stand all the way on the far left corner of the generator right here. Aim at the wall right about here where the camera's blue, and then jump and place your camera. And this camera is super high, and you'll be able to see anyone who might be pushing through tree room to garden. You'll be able to see their feet, and of course you have a great view of the site and anyone pushing out of A main towards the site. I really like this camera mainly because of the fact that you can see the feet of anyone in tree room, even if they are all the way over here crossing into garden. So the one-way cage I like is super easy to throw. All you want to do is stand on this light tile here, right at the top of the staircase. It's the second from the right tile, and aim right here along the dark line on this arch, just like this, and throw your cage. This one way is great if you like to play behind generator and peek into A main. So for tripwire spots, I like this one here to start, as well as this one over here at the door. These two are pretty standard, but great for still getting info if the enemy is pushing out. If the enemy team has a jet, however, I will typically move this wire from A main and instead put it on site like this. The reason for that is because it's super common now for jet players to dash through the entrances of the site to break any tripwires, and jet dash won't make it this far, so you'll still be able to catch anyone pushing far onto site with this tripwire and play off it. For example, if you're playing behind the generator here, or if you're playing something like this under heaven. So my go-to setup for a site looks like this. So next up we have Split, and I believe Cypher is still best on B site here, and overall not too much has changed. Only thing that's really changed is the camera spot has been adjusted just a little bit. It's still at the top of this roof here, but it's more on the corner right there. And to place it, you just need to jump on this box right here, and then you can jump and place it right at the corner. It's just slightly higher up and a little bit further along the wall, and it allows you to see just a little bit more of the left side of B main. So first with the one-way cage, very simple, still the same one from this corner right here. All you want to do is aim along this thin brown trim on the roof, just like this. Throw your cage, and it will land on top of the doorway, giving you a one-way from a bunch of different spots. So once again, the main changes are to the tripwires, and because raise and jet are so common now, I really don't even bother with this tripwire anymore, as it will always get broken by either a raise satchel or a jet dashing onto site. So because of that, my go-to tripwires now are basically anywhere along the wall right in this area, so that way people will hit it if they are pushing up to the default plant spot, and the other spot is just along the stall here. But a lot of the times what I'll do is just place one of these and then use the other one in B heaven here. So I will typically place one right here or right here, right at the rope. And another tripwire spot that I actually saw in one of my solo queue games that I really liked is up here, connecting the pillar to this side of rafters. And the reason that I like this tripwire is because it catches someone who is pushing out this right side of rafters and clearing default and backside. This is a super common path for the attackers to take on a B split. I actually ran into this tripwire myself and it really threw me off, so I thought you guys might like it too. So the best setup for B site should look something like this. So moving on to bind, and we're going to be on A site for this setup because I think Cypher is actually very strong on A site on bind. So for camera spots, I really like this one here above heaven. It allows you to see showers and into a short. I also don't mind anything along the wall on this side. It still allows you to see into short and showers. Those work really well for general info, but if you want to get early info, you can stand at the corner of heaven like this and place your camera on this solar panel and peek short. So the one-way cage lineup is really hard to do, but if you practice it with your crosshair and get it down, it can definitely be worth knowing. So to throw it, all you want to do is walk into this corner here and aim just to the left of this yellow dot on the wire and move your crosshair just above the wire like this. So right about here, throw your cage. This gives you a pretty good one-way if you're playing in this cubby here, and it also gives you a really good one-way if you're playing behind the truck and peeking showers. So for tripwire spots, something like this right outside of showers works really well. For short, I will typically avoid placing a tripwire right here, as jet players once again will dash through it. So instead I'll put one here at U-Haul. Or to change it up and just put it in a weird spot to catch someone off guard as they're going for a plant, I'll place something like this along the box. Or if I want to catch someone off guard going for the default plant spot, I'll place something along the truck like this. It's really common for Sage players to wall this corner off and run close to the truck and plant, so if they do that, they'll hit this wire. Typically for Cypher on A site, I like to play behind the truck right here and just peek my camera every so often. And I like playing behind the truck because I can also play off this tripwire if the enemies are pushing out of showers, and the tripwire at U-Haul will give me info if someone is coming behind me, so I can safely run back into the hallway here and continue to check my camera and wait for my team to retake site. So the best Cypher setup for bind A site should look something like this. I still think Cypher is best played on A site here, but there have been a few changes to the camera spots that I like to use. So the first camera spot, you need to jump on this window right here, pull out your camera, and just aim at the bottom of this wood post, just like this. With this camera, you can see all of sight as well as long and short. It doesn't give you as much early info, but you'll still be able to see if the attackers are pushing up far. Slightly different from the last camera spot that I really liked, which was on these stone pillars. This one is just a little bit harder to notice because of the weird angle. So the other camera spot I like is on the roof of this building over here. And to place it, you need to walk out onto the ledge of the window, aim just along the corner like this. And once again, a pretty hidden camera because of how high it is and the fact that it's behind the wall, but you can still turn it to get a great view of sight. And the reason I really like this camera is because it rarely ever will get shot out, so you can continue giving information to your teammates about the attacker's position even after they've taken sight. So to place the camera I really like for early info, you need to jump on top of the site like this, stand at this corner, and then you can jump and place your camera at the corner of this roof, and you'll be able to see anyone pushing up long, and you'll also be able to see if anyone crosses through lobby to short A. This camera is higher up than a lot of people expect when they're clearing long A for cameras, so a lot of people miss it. So there is a one-way cage here at long that you can throw. To throw it, you want to walk to the top of the ramp right here, right in the middle. And you want to aim in the middle of this light vertical piece of wood, just like this. Throw your cage, and it will land at that lower ledge. And this gives you a one-way to long if you are playing this left side right at the top of the ramp. Personally, I don't actually use that one way. I think the better cage spots are just either at the top of long like this or at the top of short like this. That way the enemies have to push blindly onto the site, but that is the one way if you wanted to know it. So for tripwire spots, for long, I really like this one. This way it forces the enemy to fully be up the ramp to be able to break it. And for short, I really like this one along the box right here. Both of these are really easy to play off of if you are playing behind default. If I don't think those are being useful for whatever reason though, I will typically just move them so that way they connect to default. But really, these two at long and short do a pretty good job of giving you information. So the best Cypher setup for Haven a site should look something like this. So that is all for my best Cypher setups for this most recent patch 1.04. If you want to see more Valorant videos and guides like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button.